You've probably seen it happen. A huge business deal, months of work, everything looks like a slam dunk, and then, suddenly, it just dies. For years, we've blamed the same old thing, but it turns out the real killer has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. And that quote really gets to the heart of what we're diving into today. The common wisdom? It's just wrong. When the stakes get this high, logic isn't in the driver's seat anymore. A much more primal, powerful instinct grabs the wheel.
So, let's just picture the scene, right? The spreadsheet is practically screaming, "This is a win!" The product solves a massive problem. Everybody on the team is nodding their heads. Then, at the very last minute, the buyer gets cold feet and the deal just flatlines. No good reason given. So, what really happened?
Well, we always point the finger at the same old suspect, price. We tell ourselves, oh, it must have been too expensive. But think about it. If the ROI was so clear, that can't be the whole story, can it? The real evidence doesn't point to the budget. It points somewhere else entirely, deep inside the buyer's own brain.
This is the perfect way to frame it, and the idea comes from Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman. Basically, your buyer has two different decision makers living in their head. On one side, you've got the accountant. That's the slow, logical part of the brain. It loves spreadsheets, data, and ROI calculations. But on the other side, you have the guard dog. It's fast, emotional, and totally focused on one thing: survival.
And here is the absolute key. A multi-million-dollar decision doesn't just feel like a math problem to the brain. It registers as a potential threat. I mean, a wrong move could cost someone their job, their reputation, everything. And suddenly, that guard dog's ears perk up. It stops caring about all the cool features and starts obsessively scanning for risk. Its only mission is to keep its owners safe.
So if fear is the real deal killer, what exactly is pulling the trigger? We're about to profile the main psychological suspects that wake up that guard dog and put your entire deal on red alert.
Okay, our first and most dangerous suspect is loss aversion. And this isn't just some funny little quirk. It's a deep, fundamental part of how our brains work. The research is crystal clear. The psychological sting of a loss feels about twice as powerful as the joy of an equivalent gain. We are literally hardwired to avoid losing more than we are to win.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Look, the pleasure you get from gaining $10,000, it's real, for sure. But then look at the psychological impact of losing that same amount. It's huge. It's disproportionately painful. So in a big deal, the buyer isn't just weighing a potential gain, they are feeling the potential loss of that investment way, way more intensely. So how does this actually play out? Well, the smartest sellers, they flip the entire script. They stop selling a gain and start selling the prevention of a loss. This message doesn't say you'll gain 25%. It asks, can you really afford to keep losing ground to your rivals? That question totally bypasses the accountant and talks directly to the guard dog.
All right, our second suspect is a lack of social proof. You see, when the guard dog feels uncertain about something, it doesn't start doing complex analysis. It looks around at the pack to see what everyone else is doing. If other people have gone down this path and survived, hey, it must be safe. It's a powerful mental shortcut for reducing risk. And in the B2B world, these are the signals of a safe, well-traveled path. Seeing logos of companies you know and respect, reading a detailed case study from a business that looks just like yours, seeing a stamp of approval from a neutral third party like Gartner, these aren't just fancy marketing tools. They are powerful sedatives for the brain's guard dog.
Our third suspect is a lack of authority. This is the brain's go-to shortcut for establishing trust. I mean, instead of trying to become an expert on every single thing, we just defer to people who've already proven they know what they're talking about. We trust the doctor in the lab coat, the analyst with the PhD. Their expertise makes a choice feel less like a wild gamble and more like a sure thing.
In a really complex sale, signals like these tell the guard dog to just chill out. An endorsement from a big name in the industry, a tough industry certification, or just seeing that the team behind the product has some serious verifiable credentials. All of it communicates that this isn't just a good idea, it's a decision backed by legitimate authority.
Okay, so we've identified our suspects: loss aversion, no social proof, and no authority. But here's the thing, they often need an accomplice. There's usually a catalyst that creates the perfect storm for fear to completely take over and kill the deal. So what is it?
It's this absolute wall of information. An endless fire hose of features, integrations, pricing tiers, deployment options, add-ons. We think we're being helpful by giving the buyer all the data to make a logical choice, but what we're actually doing is creating total chaos
And this is the exact moment the deal dies. The accountant, the logical brain, is just completely overwhelmed. It short circuits. And in that moment of paralysis, the guard dog doesn't just wake up, it kicks down the door and seizes full control. This is what psychologists call cognitive overload. It's the key accomplice that murders the deal. When we flood a buyer with too much complexity, we don't empower them, we paralyze them. And a paralyzed brain will always default to the safest possible choice. And what's that? It's doing nothing. It's always safer to say no than to make a complex choice you can't easily defend.
So, how do we fight back? We don't need a long, drawn-out strategy. We need a fast, decisive plan of attack. Let's call it the certainty sprint.
First thing, you have to disarm loss aversion. Stop talking about all the things they'll gain. Focus everything on what they are actively losing every single day they don't act. Frame your solution as the only way to stop the bleeding.
Next up, activate that social proof. Show them they aren't some lone explorer in a dangerous jungle. Give them a map, a success story from a company that looks just like theirs. Prove to them that this path is not only safe, but it's actually well-traveled.
Then, you've got to leverage authority. Bring in the experts. Don't just ask the buyer to trust you. Show them that the smartest people in their industry already do. Make your solution the obvious choice for anyone who's credible. And finally, maybe the most critical step of all, you have to prevent cognitive overload. Be their expert guide. Don't show them the entire map of the world, just show them the next 3 steps on the path. Your job isn't to present 100 options, it's to provide one confident recommendation. So, when you boil it all down, the real takeaway is this. For any high-stakes B2B deal, you're not really selling features or benefits or even ROI. You're selling certainty. You are selling the feeling of psychological safety that finally allows that guard dog in their brain to stand down so the accountant can get back to work and sign the check.
And that just leaves us with one last thing to think about. Take a good, hard look at your own process, your own messaging. Are you building a story of safety and certainty? Or, without even realizing it, are you accidentally creating the very threats that are silently killing your deals?